Bonjour tout le monde, c'est moi Charlotte et aujourd'hui je vais vous présenter 10 choses à faire pour améliorer votre niveau de français. Donc voilà le document. Ouais. Et voilà, qu'est-ce que c'est ça? C'est une affiche à moi. That is one of my Bonjour Chepstow French Club posters, which if you're local to Chepstow, Upidgal, that's in Wales, that's my my hometown, you will probably have seen these around, and that's my doing. Normally when we're not in lockdown, every last Thursday of the month, Bonjour Chepstow meets with club members and visitors who are interested in talking French, discussing France, just talking about travel in general, basically going over a topic to study and just to enjoy yourself with other francophiles. So we can't do that at the moment, c'est dommage, c'est dommage. Mais je peux faire des petites vidéos et je peux vous envoyer ceux qui viennent normalement au club. Je vais vous envoyer après ce document par email. So I'm going to send this document to my club members as I normally do, or as I'm doing at the moment. So I can still do that even in lockdown, so that's something positive, and you can obviously go on the internet as long as you have access. You can go online whenever you like, and ici c'est 10 choses à faire. These 10 things that you can do, most of them involve access to the internet, so as long as you've got that, there's loads of ways that you can improve your French. So let's get started. Que faire pendant le confinement? So le confinement, lockdown. Numéro 1. Allez sur google.fr. Okay, so for a few of these I'm going to write down some web addresses. That one's probably a bit obvious. Google.fr. Qu'est-ce que c'est ça? That's just the search engine with the like the French version, the French numbers after the dot. So in French, instead of saying .com or .co.uk, we would say point .fr. So that's like French Google. So on the sheet that I've given you, or that I will give you, I have written allez sur Google FR et cherchez des images ou peut-être des articles en utilisant des termes de recherche en français. Ça veut dire quoi? Ça veut dire des phrases ou des mots-clés français. So obviously what I'm asking you to do, or suggesting you do, is to just use like a search engine. It doesn't have to be Google, but google.fr is going to be probably one of the most reliable for finding good results. Just use it as you would with your google.com or .co.uk or .it, or you know, whatever your mother tongue is. Just use it as you would your language search engine, but type in French. So in order to do that, you know, you need to know what you're looking for, or you need to have at least a few keywords in your mind. So if you're into fashion, it might be la mode, or politics, la politique. In fact, you don't even have to necessarily use the article, le, la, les, that kind of thing. You can just use the main noun, or a noun plus an adjective. I don't know, for example, cheveux bruns, cheveux bouclés, chapeau noir, depending on what you're looking for. So once you've done that, cliquez sur des images ou click cliquer. So all of these verbs on this sheet, the verbs are the ones that are in red. Can you see that on there? Let's put that quite close. So ici, allez sur Google et cherchez, cliquez sur les images. So it might seem like very simple vocab here, but all the verbs that are suggesting what you should do to improve your French, all the tips, the verbs are in the infinitive form. So that's something you'll find with French lists that are published on like articles or newspapers, that kind of thing. You might expect to see them in the vous form. Maybe you will. But don't be surprised if they're in the infinitive forms, okay? Because that's perfectly correct as well. Cliquez sur les images. Voir d'où elles viennent. Voir d'où elles viennent. See where they come from. Quel site web? Which sites? Explorez-les. Explore them. Right, so that can be like a little rabbit hole, but it can be quite fun too. See what you find. Numéro 2. Complétez des exercices de grammaire en français sur Internet. So you might not be too up for completing grammar exercises, but there's loads of free sites where you can do that, and you can correct, or you can press the correct button and you can see the mistakes that you made, and then you can go back at some point and do the same exercises again. So let me give you a website for one that I find quite useful with my students. Any of these websites that I mention I'll list under the video in the description. So ça c'est un peu nul, ça, donc je vais utiliser le stylo vert. Ça c'est mieux. Français facile. Point. C'est .com ou .fr? .com. D'accord, voilà. Regardez ça. Français facile. Oh, pardon, excusez-moi. Je vais juste faire un truc ici, voilà. I shouldn't sign again. Français facile, easyfrench.com or Français facile. Go on there. You can search by like topic area, so if you're interested in direct object pronouns, or if you want to practice your past tense, or if you're particularly interested in the verb être, or you know, there's loads and loads of different exercises you can try, different types, lots of drop down or fill in the blank, that kind of thing. Great fun if you're interested in that kind of thing. Give it a go. Numéro 3. Changez la langue sur votre portable ou votre ordinateur ou sur votre tablette. Donc changer la langue, ça veut dire aller sur les réglages et changer la langue de tout le texte en fait. So that's quite a bold thing to do. If you change the language, like the settings and the display, all the words that appear on your phone or your computer or your iPad or whatever, that means you're exposed to a lot of language that's really useful actually. Lots of instructions and lots of like technical vocabulary, which is great if you want to stay up to date with that kind of vocab. Not so great if you're really tired and you can't find your way to that setting. So you know, just be prepared, but it's quite a bold thing to do, and it's actually very, very useful to see French every day on something that you use all the time. So you'll very quickly get used to you know, the words that you see on your phone or other device. Numéro 4. This is a useful verb. Télécharger. Télécharger. So that's really kind of like one of the verbs of like our era of technology. So télécharger, télécharger. So that means to download. Télécharger, to load is charger. Télécharger translates as to download. So télécharger des applis gratuites pour pratiquer la langue. So les applis, c'est quoi ça? Les applis, applications, so apps. Download free apps, because there are free ones, and I'm going to recommend two to you that you can download to your phone. You can also access these via your internet browser, and all of my students will be familiar with these two. First one, again, you can go to the website. I'll just put the website in here, but the application name is basically the name of the website. So word reference.com if you are going to the desktop version. That's a really useful one. So it's basically lots of languages, like a dictionary. You can find verb conjugations, which is something that I'm going to mention in a minute. And it's very reliable. There's a forum on there. There's loads and loads of information. Again, you need to be familiar with grammatical terms. So intermediate to advanced learners or very, very keen beginners are going to really benefit from this website or this free application, which I would definitely recommend you download to your phone. I'll show you the interface on my phone. Just un instant. C'est juste par là. Ah, ça c'est le. Ah, ça c'est le. Ça c'est en italien en fait. C'est ça que vous allez voir. D'accord? Okay, so it's like really, really useful. The next thing, okay, it might be a little bit obvious. If you're already studying a language, you probably have heard of Duolingo. So it's a really useful website, but it's also a great app, which I would recommend to anyone who has like a smartphone or a desktop. So, what's next? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Écrire des listes de vocabulaire ou des conjugaisons de verbes. So, two kind of things rolled into one there, but they are quite different. But it's all about writing stuff, like, you know, old school writing with a pen. So, the act of writing out conjugations of verbs is actually super useful for getting them into your head. You don't have to do every tense, just focus on one tense for a certain verb, or several common verbs, for example, être, avoir, aller, a mixture of common and irregular and regular common verbs in, say, the present and the past tense, or just the future tense. Writing them out, you can go one step further. Write them out, I don't know, 5 times each conjugation per tense, and then maybe take your phone or a microphone on your computer, record yourself pronouncing them, and listen back to your pronunciation and see whether you can preempt the conjugation by saying it as you listen to yourself say it. So you can really train yourself there, just using the kind of technology that most people have available to them these days. The other thing is vocab lists. So you can find these online. Just a quick google.fr search will help you find them. Go to some of your textbooks, or just think about the kind of vocab that you need to know next time that you go to France. Write down the list in English if you must, and then faire des recherches, do some research, you know, trouver le dictionnaire et trouver des mots en français écrivez-les, write them down, and keep them organised, you know, revisit them often. That's a great way to learn vocab. And of course, with French, you're going to need to make a note of the gender of the noun. Is it le or la, l'apostrophe? So keep that in mind. Numéro 6. Okay, this is still related to writing, but you could do this on a computer. Traduire un texte. Traduire. So this is, again, that verb traduire, it's in the infinitive form, so it means to translate or translate a text. It's one of my favourite things to do, is a bit of translation. So if traduire was in the vous form, if I was saying translate it, you guys, traduisez un texte. So you could either do it soit vers anglais, soit vers français. You can either translate a text into French or into English or vice versa, whichever you prefer. If you're relatively a beginner, I would say translate from French into English. So, trouver un article, une petite histoire, ou même, alors je sais pas, même des commentaires que vous trouvez sur YouTube. So, go onto YouTube, find a French channel, look at the comments, have a look at those. Depends what you're interested in. It depends whether you're looking at formal French or informal French, or, you know, you decide, have fun, do some translation work. You'll have to go onto YouTube, sorry, not YouTube, word reference to check the words, or look in a dictionary. Challenge yourself, basically, okay? Okay, lire, this is numéro 7. Lire des articles en français sur les sites web de journaux français. Journal français. C'est quoi un journal français? Un journal français tel que Le Monde ou Le Figaro. So, those two names are French newspapers, right? I know French, like I know newspapers in general, all across the world, are kind of going not out of fashion, but they're just less popular now. But you can still find their websites, and they're very useful. Obviously, you have the news, les informations, so you can keep up to date with, like, you know, French news or culture, but you can also do some reading and comprehension practice. Donc, voilà, deux sites de journaux français gratuits à accéder. lemonde.fr, that's like a center kind of left newspaper. Le Figaro.fr, c'est plutôt it's more like kind of center right, center left, center right. So they're two very popular ones, but there's loads. Just send me an email if you want a list. I can send you a link to a whole host of them. So that's good for reading comprehension, and also, like, reading is great for acquiring vocabulary and to understand and find similarities with your own language between French sentence structure and, say, English sentence structure. Donc, numéro 8, this is like one of the most fun for me. Regarder des films ou des séries en français, des séries, excusez-moi, en français sur Netflix ou Amazon, ou même juste aller sur YouTube pour trouver des vidéos en français. Moi, par exemple, en ce moment, je regarde, je me suis inscrite, je m'abonne sur une chaîne sur YouTube qui s'appelle Montre Comedy. Donc, je vais écrire ça, en fait. So, I find this YouTube channel, voilà. I found this YouTube channel that I'm kind of addicted to at the moment. So anytime I have, you know, a moment spare, like I'm making food or I'm putting out the washing or something, getting dressed, I go to Montreux Comedy. So this is a channel that hosts French stand-up comedians or stand-up comedians who speak French. So they might be Swiss, Montreux in Switzerland, or they could be, I don't know, from Africa, or they could be Quebecois, like from Canada, from Quebec. So it's really good for training your ear to different accents and just to enjoy yourself. So don't worry if you can't understand everything that's being said. You can always stop and go back and re-listen, or ask your teacher, ask your French-speaking friends what's being said there if you really need to know. These days you can also just put subtitles on most YouTube videos, so that's an option too. Ok, numéro 9. Écoutez de la musique française. Sur YouTube, par exemple. Moi, quand je cherche la musique, si ce n'est pas une artiste particulière, ce que je fais, c'est d'écrire quelque chose comme ça. Oh, excusez-moi. Française, non. Musique française. Donc, on peut utiliser le terme musique française. Musique française. So instead of musique française, you would say musique française because c'est la musique. That's a feminine noun. And français, which is the adjective, has to agree with it. So we put an E on the end. Français then becomes française. So musique française, and then I tend to put année. This depends on how you feel, but I tend to go for années 50, années 60, années 70, blah blah blah. It depends what you're interested in. That means years 50 or years 60. So basically 60s music, 60s French music, or 50s music from France. So you'll find some nice stuff. If you're anything like me, you like that kind of sound, great. Ok, autre chose. Ok, dernièrement, numéro 10. Trouvez des groupes ou des forums en français, genre Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, that kind of thing. Use les réseaux sociaux, social networks, if you have access to them, because you can easily search in the search bar for things that are interesting to you. So, par exemple, si vous aimez la mode ou le cyclisme, les vins rouges de la France, ou l'art, des films d'horreur, whatever it is that you like, find places where people are talking about those things. You can either be really proactive and try and speak in French even if you make mistakes. Try and speak and interact with people who are talking about the things you like, or you can just try and join a group and be a bit of a wallflower, a virtual wallflower, and just see what's being said. The nice thing about that is you've got people from all over the world interested in the same things as you, sharing their ideas, sharing links, making friends. You can access it whenever you like, and you can also step back and take a break whenever you like. So let's just have a look at those things again. How are we doing for time? We're actually under half an hour at the moment, so it's pas mal ça. So these are, bref, ce sont les choses que j'ai écrites ici, 1 à 10. Allez sur google.fr et cherchez des articles, des images en utilisant des termes en français. Numéro 2, complétez des exercices de grammaire en français sur Internet, en ligne. Numéro 3, changez la langue de votre portable, ordinateur ou tablette. Numéro 4, téléchargez des applications, des applis gratuites pour pratiquer la langue. Numéro 5, écrire des listes de vocabulaire ou faites des conjugaisons de verbes. Numéro 6, traduire un texte. Ou des textes si vous voulez. Numéro 7, lire des articles en français. Numéro 8, regarder des films ou des vidéos sur Internet en français. Numéro 9, écouter de la musique française online, en ligne. Et puis 10, trouver d'autres personnes qui aiment la même chose que vous et parler avec eux. Donc, j'espère que ça vous aidera. Oops. I hope that helps you. Use this as a little point of reference if you're not quite sure what you can do to practice your French or to improve your French. If you do these things even once, they're bound to help you. If you do it regularly, then that's really the best way to go about learning a language. This is just the best time to do it as well. So really profitez-en. Really make the most of it if you can. And if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch. My name's Charlotte Moore from More Language Solutions. And if you're based in or near Chepstow in Bydgell in Wales, feel free to get in touch with me. You can find me on Facebook by searching for More Language Solutions French Classes Chepstow. Or if you're interested in Italian, you can look for Italian Classes Chepstow. I'll just show you what you can search for. And I will do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. In the meantime, restez à la maison, stay home. Reposez-vous, that means get some rest. Amusez-vous, that means have fun, you know, don't take things too seriously. Take care everyone, and à la prochaine fois. See you next time. Au revoir. Merci.